Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to teach you how you can make this super simple and easy crochet scarf. I can promise you that this project is going to be incredibly beginner friendly, so if you are just starting your crochet journey, then this is the perfect project for you because I'm explaining every single stitch and every single step, starting from very basics in quite a lot of detail, so I'm sure that you will be able to follow along and also create your first crochet project. However, also if you're already experienced crocheter, I'm sure that you will have some fun with this project as well because it's very simple and you can finish it very quickly. And by the end of it, you will get this cute little scarf, which is very beautiful, and at the same time you can also customize it in different ways and wear it in different ways as well. So now without further ado, let's jump into it.
Here are the materials that I will be using. Here I have 50 grams of yarn, which is wool blend, and here are some more specs just in case if you're wondering about this specific yarn. I will be using only one color, but feel free to mix and match multiple ones of them. And of course you will also need a crochet hook. For this project I will be using 3.5mm hook, and you will also need scissors. But now let's get started. So first I'm just grabbing my yarn, and first step for us would be to do a slip knot. So for that, here I have the end of my yarn and I'm kind of creating a loop like this, and then I'm twisting this loop, and with my fingers I'm grabbing some yarn and pulling it through to kind of create a knot and also a little bit bigger loop. And then I can just grab my crochet hook and put it inside this loop, and also adjust the size of this loop depending on the hook size so it kind of fits and goes around. And then our next step is to do some chains. So in total, in my case, I will be doing 27 chains, and to do a chain you basically just have to yarn over, grab yarn and pull it through the loop that you have on your hook, and just count along as you are doing these chains to make sure that you are doing the right amount that is needed for your project. So in my case I will be doing 27, and the amount of chains basically will determine the width of this scarf that we are creating. So it's up to you if you want to do less or more, but just make sure to do some so you have enough that is needed for yourself. Here I have done all 27 chains, and now we can proceed with working on the first row and doing some stitches. So first, to get started, I will be skipping the last two chains, so 1 and 2, and then in the third chain that's where we are going to do our very first stitch. And throughout this project I will be using half double crochets. However, you are more than welcome to use different stitches if you wish. But if you're not familiar with half double crochet, let me show you. So first you just have to yarn over, then go through the chain, then grab yarn and pull it up to have 3 loops on your hook, then yarn over and go through all 3 loops like that. So this is one half double crochet, and then we are just proceeding with the next chain, and in there we are doing exactly the same thing. So here is another one, and let's do the third one together. So yarning over, going through the chain, then grabbing yarn and pulling it up to have 3 loops, then yarning over and going through all 3 of them like that. So this is the process that you have to do in each of the chains that you have, and just go through all of them to make sure that you have completed all of these chains and have reached the other end where we have the very last one. Here I have done the first row, and this is how it looks. So I have done 1 stitch inside every single chain that I have, and now that that's done we can proceed with the second row. So to get started with that, we first have to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and then we can turn our work, and we are actually skipping these first 2 chains that we have and starting to do stitches on top of this last half double crochet that we had in the previous row. So in there we are doing the same thing, we are just adding half double crochet, and then we are just going through every single stitch that we have and adding 1 half double crochet on top of each of them. So just proceed with doing that. So here I have also completed the second row, and this is how it looks. And these are basically all the steps that you have to do for this project. So from now on, you basically just have to repeat what we did for the second row. So first you're starting with chaining 2, then you're turning your work, skipping these chains that we just did, and then adding half double crochets on top of every single stitch. So just keep on repeating this and adding more rows, which will then also increase the length of this scarf. And that's basically all that we have to do. And as I mentioned before, it would be very fun to actually mix and match different colors throughout these rows, so feel free to do that and create some fun designs. So here I have done already over 60 rows, and this is how it looks. So if you want to have just like a basic long scarf, you can just continue with adding rows for as long as you want and create a longer scarf. However, in my case, I will actually be connecting this like the end and the start together to kind of create like a scarf like this that you can basically just pull over your head and then just have it as one piece on your neck. So I will be doing that and also showing you how you can do that. So here I have this final loop where I just finalized my last stitch of this row, and now I'm just folding my work like this and then going through this stitch on the other side in the very corner where I'm looping this loop through. So like that, I'm just grabbing it and then inserting it in here. And after that, we just have to continue with doing some slip stitches starting from here to there. So therefore, we just have to flip our work like this, and then we can proceed with doing slip stitches. So starting from this first stitch that I have here, I'm just going through here, and then I'm also going through the same place where I just looped this loop through. So going inside this first stitch also on the other side, then grabbing yarn and pulling it through both stitches, as well as loop that I have on my hook like this. So this counts as one slip stitch, and then we just have to do the same thing also for the following stitch. So I'm just going through the same stitches from both sides, grabbing yarn and pulling it through, and then pulling it through the loop that I had on my hook. So this is the whole process. You just have to go through every single stitch on both sides and just make sure that that is exactly the same stitch on each of the sides, so you're connecting exactly in the same position on both sides, and then just do these slip stitches and proceed with going up until the very end, until you reach this point on both sides. But this is how it looks so far once I have connected already a couple of stitches. And if I turn it on the other side, as you can see, this is a very smooth and neat connection, so you can barely notice that we are doing any stitches on the other side. Otherwise, just continue with this process. And here I have done these slip stitches up until this side, so now we can actually fasten off, and we are going to fasten off in a way that you would normally end your project. So for that, we just have to chain one like this, then we are making this loop a little bit longer and looser, then grabbing our scissors, cutting off yarn, and as it's cut off, we can tighten it in a secure knot just by pulling this loose end like that. So now this project and this side is connected. The only thing that is left for us to do is basically to weave in these loose ends that we have here on both sides. And for that, normally I'm just using my crochet hook and just going through random stitches here on this side, since this is going to be our back side, and just grabbing yarn and pulling it through and weaving it inside like random stitches and random loops on the back side like that. So just proceed with doing that until both of these loose ends are hidden. So here I have hidden both of these loose ends, and now we are actually done with this project, meaning that we can turn it on the other side like this, since this is going to be our right side. And that is basically it. So now your scarf is ready to be worn. And this is how it looks on me. As you can see, it's super simple but cute project that you can easily customize in different ways.
So that was it from me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you had fun with this pattern. And if you did manage to recreate it, then please feel free to share it with me. I'm super curious to see what you are creating. However, if you have any questions, then just feel free to reach out in the comment section below, and I will try to help you from there. But if you did enjoy this video, then please give me a big thumbs up, and if you're new here, then please subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye!